Hi everyone. I would say by the time you're going to view this, I may have moved already or I'll be very close to moving, but I'm not going to put this video out before we have signed contracts or exchange contracts because we've sold our property finally after 6 years about 10-12 days ago. And we've already found something new, and I want to tell you a bit about the process of finding a new home. 3 years ago we already thought we had sold our property, but unfortunately it turned out to be a con man who didn't have two clevies to rub together, and he traumatized our whole village because he put offers, and we only found that out quite late in the process. He put offers on 25 properties sold by 9 different vendors, all in the village, all by the same estate agent. And so we have been, all summer we spent all over the parts of the country where we wanted to go to look for properties. And we found something, and we had to abandon it, and it was a huge disappointment. Now, 3 years ago the market was really different from what it is like now, because 3 years ago we hadn't had COVID, people were not allowed to work from home, and also we are much further down the line, certainly in the UK. I don't know what it's like in other parts of the world, of land being sold off for housing development. And yeah, unfortunately, there's quite a few yards in the area where I live at the moment that have gone down that route, and that there are more to come. And so livery spaces are getting more and more scarce. There's a lot of land grab going on with people who don't have to work in London or in big cities anymore, and they can move out into the country because they can work from home. And obviously other horse owners are realizing the same thing that I'm realizing, that we will be really hard pushed to find livery places in the future. It will be more competition to get fewer places. We will probably have to put up with less quality and higher prices for that. So a lot of people are now looking for stuff really desperately, and if anything remotely good and affordable comes on the market that, let's say, is under £1 million, it's gone like that. There will be inquiries within a couple of days, and I've come across properties where they only do block viewings, they don't do individual viewings. And so while 3 years ago I could say to the estate agent, look, I need to do this tour, I need to do this and this and this in such and such time frame, so I don't double back on myself. That is much harder now, because any of the nice properties, you're up against block viewings, and then you're up against best and final offers, and sealed bids, bit like the Scottish system, except I think with the Scottish system you've got already more details about the property. I think all the searches should have been done for you, so you can actually make an informed choice what you're bidding on, whereas we don't have that here now. So you end up probably paying a lot more than the asking price for the properties now, whereas in comparison to 3 years ago I could have put an offer in below the asking price, and the offer was accepted. So yeah, I did manage to put a tour together, and it was harder, and a lot of the properties that we quite liked actually went before we were ready to sell. But the tour went okay. There were 6 properties, and I will tell you a little bit about those properties now, and about the selection process and the criteria that we put on. But I think we were lucky, because in the end we found the best one. Obviously our own criteria have changed quite significantly in comparison to 3 years ago, because 3 years ago it was really important for us to find a fitness centre, to find a property within reasonable accessibility to a fitness centre, I should say, because we used to go to the fitness centre 5-6 days a week. Now, since COVID, I haven't been to the fitness centre now in more than a year and a half. I think the last time I went to the fitness centre was around about the 20th of March 2020, so just a few days before the first lockdown. And so our lives have changed, our priorities have changed. We can do fitness classes via Zoom, so we could still have the same instructor that we had before, no matter where we live, because we just do like a Zoom call or whatever. We've done our own fitness classes at home as well. I used to teach fitness classes, and I still have the music from all those years ago, so we got that out again. So priorities have changed, and we are also more willing now to look at stuff, or we were more willing to look at stuff that maybe didn't fit the bill 100%, but stuff that we'll do in a nice way until we can make it perfect. So I want to tell you a little bit about the whole process of everything, and yeah, let's see how it goes. So the way it went with all the viewings was that we did one property one day because it was in a different direction to all the other ones, and the land was very nice, the stables were good, the arena had all the wrong surface, but I could have changed that. But the house was too small, and I wanted a lot of money for what it was really. So we kind of decided to give that a miss. And then the two farms were basically really too much work for what we wanted to do, because they had no equestrian facilities, and one was because someone had died, and so it was like left in a state that was like, you know how a lot of old people think it's not worth doing things up anymore because they're going to die anyway, and it was a little bit like that. And the other one just had too many sheds, cow sheds, car shed, biker shed, everything. It was amazing, but too much, and the land wasn't quite in the condition that we would have liked. There was a lot of work that needed to be done to the land as well. And then there was one barn conversion, and when we entered the property it was really strange, because it was like we entered some Stephen King story, because the vibes were all wrong. It was really weird. The estate agent wasn't there yet. That was a bit of a misunderstanding. They came half an hour later than we thought they did. So the actual owner took us around, and he was a little bit like he was on dope or something. He was like really slow. It was kind of zombie-esque. It was really strange. And also he didn't really sell us the property. He kind of told us that he couldn't sleep in one of the bedrooms, and he told us that the traffic was really bad during the holiday season, the sort of thing that we want to get away from where we are. And he also told us that he wasn't going to finish the property. We thought that we were going to buy it like the conversion with a garage and stuff like that, and it was a building site which we could see in the photos in the brochure, but it was he had no intention of finishing it, and the estate agents didn't know that. It wasn't advertised as unfinished, but that was neither here nor there, because the land and the whole property gave us the wrong vibes. There were 6 stables, but and they had been used for horses before. They had liveries there and stuff like that, but the land was totally derelict, and the stables weren't so that I would have wanted to put my horses in there, and the whole property just said, go away, go away, go away. and we just thought, yeah, we do a runner, and we had the feeling that the owner was doing a runner as well. The energy was all wrong. I think there was quite a bit of geopathic stress there as well, if you believe in that kind of thing. And yeah, so we just gave that a miss, and that was one of my front runners. And interestingly, the property that we saw second actually is the one that we put an offer on, and that offer was accepted. And that was totally the opposite. It was like, come here, and everything was nice. It was just up our street, and at some point, I'm going to put a couple of pictures in this video as well. I'm not super keen on how the stables are, and I think I would like to do it up there as a footprint for an arena, because someone used to have horses there and they had dug out an arena, but that's long been derelict and it's overgrown with grass and everything. So I'm hoping to build up on that. But yeah, so that's where we're going. It's very rural. The land is quite lovely, I think. The environment is nice. It's not a major holiday destination, which will be nice because hopefully we won't be so clogged up with traffic. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. And there's a few projects like build an arena, build a stable, maybe buy some more land, do barn conversion. There's a derelict barn there as well, that I'm thinking of doing something with. So there's quite a few projects and possibilities. So fingers crossed, I hope it will all go through. And the other equestrian property that we saw was I think quite overpriced for what it was. The house was small, it was dark, and there was no room to expand because of the way where it was built. It was between the road and wedged in with the neighbour's property, and you could not extend the house in any direction really. And the land only had 2 acres, and I could already see that it was very overgrazed. So I would have inherited a very overgrazed property, and I already had asked whether there was a possibility to buy more land, and I was told no. So while the arena was very nice and had an okay surface, and the stables were good as well, it was a bit of a dead-end property because there was no way that you could develop it in any way, shape or form. There's no other land in the area that you can buy. And I asked the estate agent why the owner was selling, and because she wanted more land. And so I'm thinking, well, why should I pay the money? Because she wanted as much money for it as you can get with more land and a bigger house. Why should I pay that amount for less land that is already overgrazed and with no prospect of alleviating the situation? I'll just go straight away to buy another property that has what I want. So I think I would have felt very trapped there, with nowhere to go. Yeah, so we are going to buy what we're going to buy, and I hope it will be really nice.